Welcome to an emergency edition of Always College Football. It is officially January 10th, 4:29 Central Time. About 15 minutes ago, Chris Lowe of ESPN announced that Nick Saban is set to retire at the University of Alabama. It was a little bit jarring, to say the least. Having spoken to those that were really familiar with what was going on, I had heard, at least as of last night, he was interviewing defensive coordinator candidates, multiple defensive coordinator candidates. So, according to people in the building, business as usual, even as late as 3 o'clock this afternoon. 90 minutes ago, he just actually sat down and met with the players and informed them of his decision to step down immediately. This ends one of the greatest runs in the history of college football, and one that I am grateful and proud to have been a small, very, very small part of. But to totally sum up what Nick Saban has meant, not just to Alabama, but to me personally, it'd be impossible to do so here in a couple minutes. He changed my life, and he will forever alter the way I navigate through everything. But I know I speak on behalf of thousands of Alabama players that have come and gone under his tutelage. They were always positively impacted by what he taught them in the time that they spent there in the program. Now, I will not be sad today. I will be celebratory. Much like everybody in Alabama's gigantic fan base, we should be celebratory. I will say that. Nick Saban changed the outlook of the program starting in 2007 when he got there. He put us through the ringer. 4 or 5 or 6 consecutive weeks of the fourth quarter program. The toughest conditioning program I've ever been through in an effort to test us both mentally and physically. We didn't win that year, but we knew that at that point he was laying the foundation. And here we are, 16 years later, 6 national championship later, countless massive victories against top 10, top 5 teams, handful of college football playoff appearances. To think that we watched his final game there in the Rose Bowl, a place where it all began there in 2010, January of 2010. That was the first championship under Nick Saban. To think it ended on the same field a little more than 13 or 14 years later is pretty shocking. It really is. I am not sure how quickly this went down. Like I said, this happened very quickly. And like we do with every other job opening, there will come a time when we focus on what could come. But allow me just for a minute just to feel remorseful about the fact that we couldn't get more time with him. As college football fans, whether you love him, hate him, dislike him, respect him, don't respect him, no matter how you feel, he had an impact on your team. The countless coaches that came from underneath him, the way he impacted pattern match coverage defensively, the way he really elevated the program to heights unknown, and to see the consistency that the team played with for 15 consecutive years is pretty remarkable. I will forever be indebted to him. Alabama will forever be indebted to him. And the college football world, in a roundabout way, I think, will forever be indebted to Nick Saban. We're grateful that he decided to come back from the NFL. We're grateful that he decided to choose the SEC. We're grateful he decided to choose Alabama, and I'm especially grateful as a member of a team that he chose. I'm really glad he chose us. I'm going to miss him, but I know, knowing Nick Saban, success is likely still to come in whatever endeavor he chooses to pursue next.